Okay, I'm doing a live update right now on Bitcoin. This is live happening right now at this moment. I'm going to film this and I'm going to put it right on the air. So it's not completely live. Okay, it might be 5 minutes off, but it's pretty close to being live on what's actually happening at Bitcoin at this time. And I'm going to tell you what I think. Now, Bitcoin was up near $5,000. Right now, it's 41.67 as she is dropping. Some of you out there are going to say, hey, you know, this is the crash. No. This is not the crash I was talking about. What I see this as so far it's been a price correction. It's not been the crash. Now, I'll tell you how you'll know if it's the crash. If it's a crash, you'll see one red candlestick of about $400 straight down. One $400 straight down candlestick. That's, or maybe 300, but you know, one big super long red candlestick that's going to be like scare you to pieces candlestick. That's how you know we're in the crash, when you see that. So far, we've seen a bunch of little red candlesticks, and they're no real big deal. But you're going to see your big $400 or $300 long red candlestick. And that's how you know that the crash is on. It's on, baby, when you see that. Now, if we don't see that, there's a chance that Bitcoin could undergo this correction, and she still hasn't actually made her top yet. Now, that's what I've said. I've said that Bitcoin, this could just be a correction, and Bitcoin could, if we don't see that big candlestick, right, then Bitcoin could be just making a correction, and it could have not actually put in its big top yet. In other words, it might break 5,000, is what I'm thinking, if we don't see that big candlestick. Now, if you see that big candlestick, that'll throw fear into the market. That'll throw fear into the investors. And then the bears will be out to play. And what we could see then is we could see Bitcoin drop down quite substantially. That she could break through support levels. And, Bitcoin ultimately can go lower than anybody can think it could possibly go. Just like on the other end, it can go higher than anybody can think it can go. Because it's a very volatile, possibly one of the most volatile commodities on earth is Bitcoin. It's amazingly volatile. And so I've been around the mill with this thing for a long time with Bitcoin, and nothing surprises me anymore. But what we're seeing here right now is a correction, unless we see that big candlestick, that big red candlestick. And I'll tell you honestly, I'm kind of waiting for it. I think we could see that big red candlestick down. Maybe tonight or tomorrow, because the investors are getting itchy. They're getting nervous. Bitcoin is not recovering the way they think. It's not performing the way they expect it to perform. And all it takes is an itchy trigger finger, and we'll have the big red candlestick, and then they'll really get scared. And then we could actually see our crash. It could happen, or it might not happen, and it might be ready to go up to make a new peak above 5,000. But we are going to see the crash that I'm talking about. This might not be the time. It might make one more high, maybe 51, 5,200. If it doesn't crash right now. It might go back up and make one more high. But what goes up must come down. And so what we will see is either a very steep price correction, or if not an outright crash coming. And at some point. And then that's going to make your good buying opportunity. There, look at there. We got a green candlestick, and it just suddenly disappeared. Poof, gone. Just like that. You see the volatility in the market. Boop, back up again. You know? And I'm waiting for the book gone again. There, oh, it's turned red. You see how quick it could just go that other way? Just like that. Boom. You know? If we see the big red candlestick in the opposite direction, that's the one. But it would have to be like a lot longer, a lot bigger candlestick, a really big, huge candlestick. We're talking about $400 a candlestick. On this chart, probably be like 3 inches long. So that's what we're really looking for, you know, is that big, long red candlestick. And of course, we've seen a lot of downward movement today, but I see this only as your price correction. That's what I see it as. So, like I say, here's the thing. Here's the bottom line. I'm expecting Bitcoin to go down to a price range, a certain price range, that I'm thinking in my mind probably around, I don't know, 3,800 maybe. And I'm going to start buying back in. And I will, once I start buying back in, I will stubbornly buy all the way down to the very bottom because I want a price average. That's what I want to do. I want a price average all the way down to the bottom. I'll stay stubborn. And when I buy this next time, Bitcoins, I am not letting them go. You heard me right. I'm not letting them go. I'm keeping them in my wallet. Because I'm a firm believer that what's coming in about 2, maybe 3 years from now is going to be absolutely amazing with Bitcoin. What's coming is Bitcoin is going to make this last rise in Bitcoin from $200 up to $5,000 look like nothing. This next big thing coming is going to take Bitcoin maybe up to, I don't know, $100,000 maybe, or something like crazy like that. Probably in the short term, probably in the $25,000, $30,000 range. I mean, it's just going to be nuts what's coming. And so when I buy back in this time, I'm not letting them go. Because I fully expect this time around that Bitcoin is going to drop back, but this is going to be the last time it drops back, because what it's doing is it's building infrastructure, and it hasn't completely got that infrastructure in place yet, not solidly. It's not really on solid ground. It's almost like right now, it's almost like a house that's built on sand right now. It's got a somewhat of a foundation under it, but it hasn't got a concrete foundation. It's going to build that concrete foundation. And this next time around, when it goes up, it's going to be working with a concrete foundation, not a sand foundation like it is this time. And so we're not going to see these price moves downwards on this next one, so you don't let go of them. When you get them back this time, when I get my coin back, I am not going to let go of it. I'm going to hang on to it. So I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. I'm figuring I'm going to start buying in around 3,800, and I'm going to buy all the way down to 2,000, because that's how low I think it's going to go. It might even go all the way down to 1,000. And then when it comes up the other side, in maybe a year, I don't know, a year, maybe 18 months, maybe even 2 years from now, when it comes back, it's going to roar back alive again. At that time, it's not going to fall again. It'll never fall again after that. It's going to go up then. It's going to be permanent. And you don't want to let go of your coins when that happens. You want to hang on to them. Even when they get worth $25,000 each, you're going to want to hang on to those coins, because then they're going to go to 50,000 and 100,000 and so on. And so it's going to be amazing. So this is going to be the last big buying opportunity you're going to have in this coming up. It's coming up. You got to wait for it. I'm waiting for it. You got to be patient. If you're going to make money in this world, you got to be very patient. And so that's what I'm being. I'm being patient, and I'm waiting for it. I got about $380 more to go down in the price, and I have full confidence that if it doesn't make it this time on this price correction, that it'll make it on the next one. after it makes one more peak, maybe 51, 5200 or something like that. Then it'll fall down to my price that I'm looking for. I mean, but tonight, I mean, in the next 5 minutes while I'm talking, it could make my price that I'm looking for in the next 5 minutes. You know, so you got to keep your eye on this thing, you know. So this is the way it's moving. And listen, thank you guys for listening. You know what I'm up to, and you kind of know where I'm planning on starting to buy in here. And I'm going to keep you up to date on this whole thing with the Bitcoin, because this is going to be your chance to, just like me, your chance at something great, you know. But you got to be patient and wait for it. Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next article. Bye.